Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So we're looking again at the pixel staking dashboard here. So I did some videos about this previously last week and had a few comments. So I thought I'd do another one because the pixel staking claim is now live again. So quick recap, this is for the Pixel token running on Ronin that was launched with the game Pixels. There are two other games also using the Pixel token now. So Pixel Dungeon, sort of a dungeon item collection game that you have to pay in Pixel tokens to get the pickaxes you need to enter the dungeons. And also Forgotten Runiverse, so that's a totally separate game that's running on Ronin that's going to be using the Pixel tokens, currently integrating it. More games are going to follow at some point. Any blockchain game, I guess it's EVM compatible. It doesn't have to be on Ronin though, but any game can apply to become part of this system. And how the system works is there's 28 million Pixel tokens given out as rewards every month, and those are split between the games in this list. Currently it's sort of fixed allocations. I think Pixel gets 20 million of those, and the other ones are split. But over time it's going to become dynamic. So we can see here the total staked. So this is how many Pixel tokens have been staked towards each game. So obviously Pixels has the most. Forgotten Runiverse has 5 million, Pixels has 50 million, and Pixel Dungeons has 10 million Pixel tokens. So, if this was currently the sort of dynamic system, then obviously Pixels would get 10 times more than Forgotten Runiverse, and that would Pixel Dungeons would get 2 times more than Forgotten Runiverse. I don't think that's happening quite yet. But that will happen over time, and at that point it sort of becomes obviously it's a DeFi sort of system with staking, but also it becomes like a marketing system. So if you're staking your Pixel into Pixel Dungeon, maybe you'll start playing Pixel Dungeon, and Pixel Dungeon, all these games can choose how much of the pixels they sort of keep in their own treasuries, how much they give back. I'm not saying this is going to be the case at all, but say they could sort of juice up their rewards in other ways. If they wanted to, certainly for games that are not using Pixel as their main currency, you can imagine you also get rewards in that game's token. But I've just made that up. I've not read that anywhere, so don't take that as investment advice. So we can see in total 66 million Pixel is staked. The rewards is 1.5 million Pixels so far, 3 games, and just over 4,000 wallets staking. So it looks like now we have proper APR percentages. So this is the sort of annual return rate. So we can think of this as like an interest rate. It's a bit more complicated than that because obviously the Pixel token has its own dollar value. So this is just the APR rate in terms of Pixel tokens. So if I put in 100 Pixel tokens in a year's time, I'd end up with, at this rate, if it stays the same, which it wouldn't because it's dynamic. But in this case, you get 100. You'd obviously get 54 Pixel tokens back as your sort of interest if you put in 100. So we can see here. So Pixels is 54%, Forgotten Runiverse is 50%, and Pixel Dungeons is 182%. So one of the reasons that is so high is that it's getting a bigger proportion of the pixels every month than Forgotten Runiverse, but a bigger proportion than the 2 times more pixel it has staked. So we've already seen that Pixel Dungeons the first video I did, Pixel Dungeons only had 1 million pixels staked, so it's 10x'd already. It's the amount that's being staked there. Obviously, because at the moment, if you were coming here with Pixel tokens to stake it, you'd stake it all into Pixel Dungeon because that's giving you, a much bigger return, 3 times more return than these other ones. Obviously, over time, equilibrium will be found, and enough Pixel will be staked here that these will all be equal, and then people will choose, however they want to sort of do it. So this is just a sort of initial situation where these are being dynamically stabilized by the amount of pixels that's being staked. Okay, so gone through all that. So let's have a look at what I've staked. So this is very small amounts. Should point out this is tiny really amounts of pixels. So this is we'll look at the price of pixel in a minute, but this is sort of $1 or this is a bit more obviously, but it's not. These are not large amounts. What would it actually be? I mean these are under $1 and this is maybe $3 or something. Yeah. So anyway, this is just for sort of educational purposes. So I've already claimed 0.4 or half a pixel and 12 pixels last week. So this is my claimed rewards. This is what I've got so far. This is what I've staked. And now I can go in and see if I can claim anything. I know I can because that's why I'm doing the video. So I go here to claim. So I can see here pixels. So I won't do it right now, but just to show. So in pixels, I've got another half a pixel. So I will have staked 50 pixels, and when I claim this other pixel, I would have got. When I claim what I just saw there, I would have had 1 pixel back in basically sort of just over a week. So that's quite good. So Forgotten Runiverse, I'm going to get 2.7, so that's pretty good. That's in fact better because I've got slightly more pixel in here, but for pixels I got 1 pixel back, and for Forgotten Runiverse I'm getting whatever it was 2.7. So that's pretty good. And then Pixel Dungeon, even better, 27.5. So actually, so last time I just had I think it was 50 pixel in to get that 12. So now I've 10x'd it, and I'm only getting 12 back. So you can sort of see how that percentage has dropped off just in a week. And we know this is still giving the best return because it's got the higher APR. As I say, that over time this is going to come down, and effectively you would think they would all be equal, because there's no, why would you choose one game as opposed to another game if the APRs are the same. So if I do want to claim, I just go in and obviously hit claim here, and then I have to sign through the transaction. So now we can see this claimed reward number has gone up by what I just claimed, and now that available balance is, this is the pixels I just claimed from the Pixel Dungeon staking, and now they're sitting in my wallet, so they're available, so I could go then obviously stake them back into Pixel Dungeon, I assume. And if I go here and look at Pixel Dungeon, I've got no claim at all because I've just claimed it. Forgotten Runiverse got 2 and Pixels got half. So this is how this is working. This is going to get more complicated in June because there's going to be the new vPixel token, virtual pixel token, and at some point you are going to have to there'll be a farming fee. So you don't just when you're unstaking. Yeah, that was in the moment actually. Let's have a look. Okay, so lockup period. I don't think it's in it now. So, but there will be a farming fee. So when you take out value from this staking pool, you will be charged a fee, and that's going to be dependent on your reputation in the Pixels ecosystem. So just something to be aware of, I think. As I say, not quite sure when that's going live, but at the moment you can stake and unstake without paying a fee, but that's going to change over time. One thing to look at, just look at the Pixels price. So if you look over the sort of long-term Pixels price, basically, launch went up, and then as sort of as pretty much every gaming token has just sort of pretty much gone straight down. There's been a few undulations along the way, but it hit an all-time low in April here, so it got down to sort of 2 cents, and remember it sort of almost hit $1 here, well 0.8. So come down, as a lot of things do, come down all the way here, and then in fact this was when the sort of the new staking stuff and other things that Pixels is doing were announced. So we can see, we'll just be a little bit careful about causation and correlation. So the fact that something was announced, that doesn't necessarily mean that caused a change in behaviour. But it was literally during this week where the thing was announced. So I think we can say there's some aspect of it here, and particularly here when you start to see people claiming the Pixel, particularly from Pixel Dungeons. That was the first pool to give out rewards, and then you see sort of, because what you'd expect there is people don't have Pixel because people have just been selling off Pixel as soon as they've got it because the price keeps going down. Now you can actually earn a return, almost 200 whatever it was percent on Pixel Dungeons. Then it's maybe from an economic point of view makes sense to go and buy some Pixel at this low price. So obviously price goes up if there's more demand than supply. sort of basic sort of economics. So it does look like that this new staking option has, had some impact on the price of Pixel. Obviously, not investment advice. We don't know if this is going to keep going up. Probably not going to get back to where it was anytime soon, if ever. Obviously, could go straight back down again, depending on what's going on in the rest of the world, or what's going on in the world economy, what's going on with interest rates. All this sort of stuff has a massive impact on these projects. But it does seem like in this current situation that the new staking mechanics have had some impact, albeit, small. The price has doubled from there, but it's still, very, very low. So I wouldn't say sentiment has been particularly impacted. But we can also see actually here, we can see the volume. So we can see, if you see the grey line here, very sort of small volumes, and then we do get a big spike here. So that's basically people, because it's gone up, that's people buying. And we do get not such a big spike here, but we are getting a spike here as well. So we are seeing, it looks like fairly consistent buying behaviour over this period at least. We'll see how that plays out. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you again soon.